When the Buffalo Bills take the field week one against the Baltimore Ravens, what will the starting lineup look like? We are going to go over our official projections for your Buffalo Bills coming up here on this edition of Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we do that, folks, we are closing in on 5,000 subscribers of the channel, just over 30 away from reaching that next milestone. Bills Mafia, it's a simple formula. More subscribers means more content. So if you want us to bring you even more videos than ever before, you got to be subscribed to the channel. YouTube.com/BillsNews to subscribe now for free, and we'll get started with today's show. So let's set some parameters on how this works, folks. We are not projecting players that we think are going to be signed or traded here. We're going to go with the roster as is and narrow it down of who we think that starting 11 will be on both sides of the ball, as well as the special teams unit for the Buffalo Bills when the season begins. So without further ado, let's start at the quarterback position. Josh Allen will be your week one starter for the Buffalo Bills. Mind blown. Buffalo Bills fans got to be happy about Josh Allen coming off that MVP campaign, the first of his career last season. He's looking for more, but more importantly, it's not just about the awards. It's about getting this Bills team over the top and finally reaching that Super Bowl and potentially bringing home his first Super Bowl title. He'll be joined in the backfield by running back James Cook, who had a strong campaign this past season. I know that there's some questions about his contract uncertainty, but I fully expect that James Cook is still going to be here in Buffalo and that he'll get a new contract here pretty soon. The tight end spot will belong to Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox has turned into a pretty solid tight end in this league. He and Dalton Kincaid have looked like a good 1-2 punch pairing together, and you have to think that Knox will play a significant role in this offense for the Bills. At the left wide receiver position is where we find Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman, very solid player. I think that he's been a good fit for this Buffalo Bills scheme over the years. You're joined by Joshua Palmer, the former Los Angeles Chargers receiver. And Palmer has looked like one of the more underrated players in the National Football League. He's quietly gone about his job and done it well there in Los Angeles and should be a good fit for Buffalo. And then you got Khalil Shakir, who has showed off the wheels. He's got a ton of speed. Last year was a bit of a breakout season for him at that slot receiver position. We've heard Brandon Beane, the GM of the Buffalo Bills, say that, hey, we expect Josh to kind of take the Tom Brady approach where we're not going to invest a ton in skill positions, that we're going to need Josh to put us over the top. I think you have a better core than what you've had in the past, but still not necessarily great either when it comes to these receivers for the Buffalo Bills. The offensive line includes Dion Dawkins at the left tackle position, David Edwards at the left guard spot, the veteran Connor McGovern, who has been one of the best centers in all of football. He will be your starting center. Osiris Torrence at the right guard spot. He was drafted a few years ago out of Florida. And then Spencer Brown at the right tackle position completes the offensive line for the Buffalo Bills. Solid offensive line. They are going to run the football a lot and protect Josh Allen. It is going to be the two things that they will be asked to do, and you better believe that they will do so pretty well. We'll go over the defense, then we'll talk special teams after that. But how would you grade the Bills' starting lineup? It's our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let us know what you think. A, B, C, D, or F. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think of the Bills' starting lineup. Give us that grade and let us know. Greg Rousseau is back. I'm a big fan of Greg Rousseau. The guy is just a ginormous human being and has been an impact player, one of the consistent players for this Bills defense over the years. He'll be joined on the defensive line by Daquan Jones at the nose tackle position. Ed Oliver also returns to the defensive tackle spot, the former first-round pick out of Houston. And Ed Oliver, there was a ton of hype about him coming out of Houston. A lot of people thought that he was the best player in college football and was a sure thing to be the number one pick. And he ends up in Buffalo. Maybe hasn't necessarily lived up to the hype of what people thought he was going to be out of Houston, but he has still been a very solid player for Buffalo. And then Joey Bosa at the right defensive end spot. He's a little bit banged up, but I think that Bosa is going to be back in time for when the season begins, when they take on the Baltimore Ravens there week one. We go to the linebacker spot. Matt Milano at the wide weak side linebacker spot. I think Milano's pretty solid. No real complaints about him. Terrell Bernard at the middle linebacker spot. He'll be your green dot. He's been pretty solid over the years as well. And then at the nickelback position, we have Teron Johnson holding things down there in the defensive backfield, which certainly has some question marks for the Buffalo Bills when it comes to their DBs. It was one of their big weaknesses last year. They've tried to make some changes. We'll see if things can step up. Speaking of the other defensive backs, let's continue. Christian Binford at the left corner spot, holding things down there, while the rookie Maxwell Harrison is at the right corner spot. And I know what some of you may be thinking right away. Hey, Maxwell Harrison Jr., their first-round pick out of Kentucky, didn't he just have this lawsuit about a sexual assault situation come out within the last week or two? Yes, he did. But the NFL is doing a much different approach when it comes to potential suspensions and penalties and all that, where now they're kind of letting the legal process play itself out before jumping to conclusions, as the league has paid a price for doing that in the past. So I don't expect any type of punishment, if any happens at all. We'll see how the cards fall where they may for Maxwell Harrison Jr. I think that he'll be starting week 1 at that right corner spot there for the Buffalo Bills. Cole Bishop at the strong safety position. Cole Bishop, not a bad football player. And then Taylor Rapp, also a part of the equation. He's been here a little while now, the former LA Ram. I know there's been some rumblings potentially about trading him, but I think he's going to stick around and be here when the season begins. We'll talk special teams in a moment and wrap up with that. But I want to know, who is your favorite Buffalo Bills player? If you had to pick one, is it Josh Allen? Is it somebody like Taylor Rapp or somebody else? Who is your favorite Bills player? No wrong answers here. Just chime in. Tell me who your favorite player is. Shout them out in the comments section below. To wrap up, the special teams unit for the Buffalo Bills includes Tyler Bass at the kicker spot, Brad Robbins at the punter position. The long snapper is not Turd Ferguson, but Reed Ferguson. And then your kick returners, you have Laviska Shenault Jr. comes over from the Seattle Seahawks. He'll be your primary kick returner. Shenault, I wouldn't expect much when it comes to his impact in the receiving game, but he'll certainly be used in special teams. And then Brandon Corrington will also be a kick returner. Remember, in this new kickoff format that the NFL installed last year, you used 2 kick returners, so he'll be the number 2 guy, and he'll also be your main punt return guy as well. There you have it. That is a look at the Bills' starting lineup for Week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. For continuing Bills coverage, subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Bills News. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.